Thank you for tuning in to the best parenting show on the internet, Post Daily Dose.
It's the Post. It's the Post. It's the Post. The Post Daily Dose. It's the Post. It's the Post. It's the Post. The Post Daily Dose. It's the Post. It's the Post.
Hey, good evening, Facebook family. Welcome to another episode of Post Daily Dose with me, your trusted parenting advisor, faithful guide, and servant on the healing journey. What's my name? Big Papa Bryan+Post. Hope everyone's doing fantastic on this amazing manic Monday. I'm coming to you from Greenville, South Carolina. Actually, I'm in Anderson, South Carolina this evening. Oh, let me say tonight's episode brought to you by our sponsors, ClickFunnels.com. ClickFunnels.com. If you are an author, a speaker, a writer, a small business owner, I guess an author and a writer, theoretically the same thing. Small business owner, coach, personal coach. You have some little gadget you're trying to market and put out there to the universe. If you've seen my Facebook ads for my Fear to Love, Free Fear to Love book offer, that is on the ClickFunnels platform. I really encourage you to go check out ClickFunnels.com. There's a link in the description of tonight's episode. I think it's an amazing vehicle for help, and it's so simple. I mean, it's copy and paste and type and click, and I use it. And if I can use it, then anyone can use it. So if you're a speaker, writer, author, coach, small business owner, someone who's wanting to market their wares on the internet, go check out ClickFunnels.com. Just click on the link in the description for tonight's episode. So yes, I am coming to you from Anderson, South Carolina. I flew in this morning to see my biological father. He had a massive stroke October 17th, and that's the title of tonight's episode. What would you do differently if you didn't have a choice? So it was October 17th, September, I believe it was. I came out to Atlanta to the Pact East conference. I was a keynote speaker. And I brought my oldest daughter, Michaela, out with me, and it's only 2 hours. Anderson's only 2 hours from Atlanta, so we drove out here because she had not ever met her biological grandfather, and so we came out here to meet him and had a great time. He had just bought an RV. I've got three half siblings actually. My sister Michelle, she's older. Also on my dad's side, I also have two half brothers. But my sister Michelle, she's 10 years younger than me, so she's like 36. I think she just had a birthday. And then I have two very small half siblings, Eliza, who just turned 8 years old, and then there's also Nat, and Nat is 5. So we came out and had a really good time with them, and he got to meet Michaela, and they connected and just had a nice time. And then literally a month later, he had a massive stroke and is now, almost physically incapacitated because he's paralyzed on his right side. He can't really form his words. And his wife's taking care of him. And it's like everything changed. And it makes me think about how fragile life is, but it also, makes me ask the question for all of us, if we didn't have a choice, if there was no choice, if you just had one path you had to follow, what would you do? Would you just collapse, or would you follow that freaking path? And, I was fortunate today to show up. I left Oklahoma City at 5:30 this morning. So I got here in time to attend a neuroscience appointment with he and his wife and my sister. And so all the guy was explaining the neuroscientist was explaining made a lot of sense. But, I'm looking at my dad, who just a month previous was doing fantastic. And then all of a sudden he has this massive stroke. And so their whole life has changed. And it's like, what if you didn't have any other choice? You know, if love was the only choice, what would you do? Like, how would you approach it? So many times, you know, parents get stuck in some of the things that I suggest and some of the things that I teach, and say that they've tried it, or, you know, it didn't work, or, you know, it's too hard, or how does it work with this situation, or how does it work with this other situation? And it doesn't change. You know, the thing is, love doesn't change. Love is always just love. And so it is really more a matter of us getting out of our own experience of fear and our own experience of stress in that moment. And that's not easy. That is a difficult thing. But it is the biggest challenge. And that for me is, if I was setting something for you, if I was setting a task for you for the year, and this is what I'm working on with my rap families in Northern California, we're going deep. We're going to go deep into our emotional selves. We're going to go deep into our own emotional pains. And I believe at the bottom, at the depths of that pain, is where we unlock love, where we unlock radical love. I don't believe that we can get to it as long as we are stuck in our own stress, we're stuck in our own trauma, we're stuck in our own survival as parents. I'm not even talking about the kids. See, if you've worked with me for any amount of time, you know I spend almost the majority of my time working with the parents, working with the adults, and then I work with the parents and work with the kids. But that's a small amount of work overall compared to what I do with the adults, because I know that it is through the process of the adults healing their own pain that they are able to create a relationship and a dynamic to heal their child's pain. You're not going to break through your child's trauma unless you work on your own stuff, unless you face your own pain. And we don't like to do it because it scares the crap out of us, but we expect our kids to do it all the time. We're all the time sending our kids into therapy, expecting them to work on their stuff and do this different therapy technique and this different therapy technique and go see this different therapist and get on this different medication and receive this different diagnosis. But not once or rarely are we having to go through the same struggle to change. See, we have this belief, and I don't even know how it got created, that kids are the ones who are supposed to change. No. Adults are responsible for creating these kids. We have to change. We have to become flexible. We have to be courageous. We have to be willing to face our own emotional pain and get vulnerable and open up and look at our own deep wounds that are getting triggered and making it impossible for us to stay present to our children without becoming reactive from the past or obsessive and controlling about the future. Because that's what stress does. Stress causes you to react from the past. It causes you to obsess about the future, but it takes you out of the present. And if you're not in the present, it doesn't matter. Nothing you're going to do is going to be beneficial if you're not in the present moment. And that's what stress and fear does. And so the very personal work that I'm doing with my families this year, specifically in the next 6 months in Northern California, is we're going freaking deep. Like I am committed to creating parenting rock stars, and these are the parents who are raising some of the most challenging, traumatized children, and also have their own really traumatic histories. But they're going to face it. I'm going to face it with them. I'll face my own shit as I go through the process with them. But that's what we're going to do. We're going to work really hard. And so I want to set that out there for you, my posties, my Facebook family. I want to set that out there for you as you go through the process of trying to heal your own children. Stop focusing on your children and start looking at yourself. When your children are misbehaving, look at yourself. When your children are acting out, look at yourself. When the school's calling, look at yourself. When your extended family members are calling and complaining, look at yourself. When grandma and grandpa is talking about you just need to spank them or give them more consequences, look at yourself. Look at yourself first. Look at yourself first. Face your own emotional reactions first. And then dig deep into that, because stuff's going to show up. Dig deep into it, and that's where I believe you're going to be able to unfold what I believe is radical love. And I believe radical love is what heals. It's what heals, because the vibration that we emit from radical love, it unravels the fear-based brain. And so that's what we're going for. That's what I want you going for. So I didn't even realize how kind of fragile my voice is. I guess I'm kind of probably more tired than I even thought. And I've been jacking with my diet the last week, so that's got me feeling all kinds of interesting ways as well too. So that's all, guys. Remember, again, I'm getting up early in the morning and heading back to Oklahoma, be in Oklahoma for a day, and then head back to California. Glad to get back there and get to work. Remember, in any given situation, we always have two choices. We can continue to react from our same blueprints of stress, fear, and overwhelm, or we can stop, we can slow down, breathe with me. Take 3 to 10 deep breaths and choose love. And I hope you guys will choose love. And if you haven't caught some of the new little short videos Shane's putting out on our Post+Institute page, check those out. He created a little opening for me. It says BP, and it kind of rotates, and you hear me breathe. That's pretty cool. Let me get your feedback on that. Shoot me an email or something. Send me a DM. Let me hear from what you think about that little opening. I kind of like it. All right, guys. God bless you. Big Papa loves you. Have a fantastic evening, and I will see you tomorrow. Mary. Hey, Mary. Hey, Lisa. I had no idea what I was getting to when I was done. I realized that I was not. No, Mary. You're not alone. You're not alone. So many parents are not prepared. We're not prepared. We go through life. We raise our own children, our biological children, and then our adopted kids come along, and we're not prepared because we forget the pain where we come from. We forget our own origins. We forget the depths of the experiences that we've had, and so what happens is our children. And so actually, there's a little video, a little Facebook video. Go on Post+Institute Facebook and check it. It's called Stress and Trauma. And I talk about how the brainstem opens up, and I'm going to be talking about that more and more. That vibration that our children send off, trigger that vibration for us. It opens up that emotional memory, which then it takes over and creates so much stress and so much overwhelm. And sadly, most adoptive parents are not properly prepared, because the people who are in charge of preparing them just don't know. Foster care agencies don't know. And Lisa says, but you are just right for your kids. Don't forget that. Absolutely, 100%. I think, what did I say? I said that, was that a Friday, Lisa? I said that? You're perfect. You're perfect for your kid. You may not have been prepared, but so what? I mean, it's the lack of preparation that got your child in your home. Had you been prepared, you might not have ended up with that particular child. So the reality is whether you're prepared or not, here you are. So that's the important thing. And we're gonna get through it. We're gonna get through it. So yeah. We're gonna let's get more prepared, and then let's go out and share, and let's go out and educate. And yes, please like, share, and comment if you love Big Papa and these videos are helpful for you. Share it with your family, your friends. Lisa says her eyes are wide open now. Yeah, and then also go check out ClickFunnels. Very, very, very thankful and honored to have them as a sponsor. And so, if you're a speaker, writer, author, small business owner, or someone wanting to start a little side business, and I'm going to talk more about that. I think you should be teaching your kids how to create little businesses on the internet these days. People are so fearful of social media, but that is the present. That's just where we're at, and we're not going back. We're not going back to phones on a line and Little House on the Prairie. That's what I used to watch at 7:30 in the mornings. We're not going back to those times. So this is a really easy, basic platform, and you could help your own child. In fact, Russell, who's the founder of ClickFunnels, he's probably got I think like 20-something kids under the age of 15 that are all millionaires from ClickFunnels coming up with different things that they've done. So it's very cool. Anyway, I'm tired. I'm going to go get some dinner. I love you guys, and we will talk soon.